This is the realm of crypto, and the drama here never ends. At least when we look at the market, we do see a lot of volatility along with some more confusion from the regulators. One says this is a commodity, but they think the other, who is currently putting on hammer, thinks that it's going to be security, right? So they don't think it's a commodity. That's going to be hard on the markets, and then you look like where the money is flowing. So the first one is the USDT. Then you're looking at Bitcoin and then Ether. And I'm really surprised to first find out like, okay, Ether moving to fiat exchanges went up like this. When Bitcoin went up 13%, Ether went up 86%. Bitcoin moving towards crypto exchanges to buy different cryptos, it's down, whereas Ether moving into different crypto exchanges is up 57%. So I was like, what's the news? Why are people running out of this? And that is a drama right now. And when I saw this news, I'm like, this does make some sense, because if that's the narrative coming into the market, people will be scared, and this is the market right now. You got mixed opinions, you're up, down, you're not doing much. Why? Because we are waiting for a direction, and most likely it can be next 1 week. We will see something. Now, what we are looking at is a higher probability of the market pricing in a 75 to 100 basis point rise. But let's see how that goes, because right now, when you're observing the market, this is what you actually see. And that's from Reuters, showing you that Wall Street actually goes a little bit up, thinking that Fed may slow down. Now, why is that thought process coming in? Because we see global markets having trouble. So all of these will be discussed in detail, because these, for me, is like, okay, in just 1 week, you are going to get clarity. But before that, the market try to price in what they think is going to happen. Great. So look at this. This is going to take you further in an area where you think this is going to hit hard. So let's be prepared for that. First, having a look at the market. Yes, the market is volatile. We saw a few assets going up, down, and some going down, right? But if you are observing these coins, for say last 1 month, they did not do much bad. They're still ranging. So now you actually go into looking at different charts, say for example XRP, and then you're like, okay, we are slowing down. At least on different time frames, when you're zooming in, it does feel like we are slowing down. The longer you take to move, that's going to be bad. Now, I'm comparing this area with this one, which happened in August. Now, there are some differences, but what's key is we had these double bottom there too with a double top. Here we have the double top, but after the second test of the support, you are slowly bouncing, but the moving average is rejecting the price. That's what we saw here, but we are right now waiting to see whether we are going to break to the downside, test this previous level of support, or come back here at the previous support range. That's going to be hard on the market. So if you put that perspective in the XRP BTC pair, it's like this. So if you break this level, that's not going to be great for a lot of guys. So this is a short-term chart which we are eyeing, and this one actually suggests you that if you are looking at this, first question which you should be asking yourself is that what's my take on this? So you literally look at this and say, okay, this is a huge possibility, so the price can literally drop. So if you put that perspective here, it can come down a little bit, right? If you are putting that in an arrow, it's like, okay, you broke higher, now you are coming all the way back down. That is a possibility, and that would be close to 0.43. Now, if you break through that, then your support becomes 0.42. Fine, that's a 4-hour scenario. Now you actually zoom in on a daily and ask, okay, what if the downside pressure is increasing? What can I look at? Because the longer you take in a bull flag, the momentum reduces for the bulls and increases for the bears. So first level is this level which you are holding. So if you are breaking that, then you are looking for this range, 0.415, 0.42, that range. Now, always we see prices working down. So if you are trying to get in a short position, be sure you manage your risk properly, because crypto market can be double-edged sword. It can really hit you hard. So make sure you understand that perspective, because here on the end of the Bitcoin dominance, you see massive volatility. Now, if you zoom out, you don't have that level of volatility on a weekly chart before this. So understand the manipulation, the level of it, it's sky high. So if you are looking for last range here, we were range bound. Great. And it was not like 10-15 days you are looking at. This is a weekly chart. So you were literally talking about a test around 300 days. You never had these kind of crazy volatility in the market. Once in a while you used to get that, but right now in this entire duration we are having this all the way from here till this point, 500 days, you're getting that money movement. Now you go into the MACD and ask this question: what can I actually learn from a weekly MACD? You put in horizontal lines where you actually see the MACD crossing to the upside on a positive note, and then try checking like, okay, what does this one mean? Meaning that's a rebounds from that same trend, making this an upside move. And right now you're here, you cross the upside first here, this is the second one. So we need to actually compare what the price did in these movements. So now we're going back to Bitcoin dominance to see the time horizon, and here we are. The first cross was here, just a little bit side, and you actually got that bounce. So it actually increased. So in the percent terms, you actually ran up 80% in Bitcoin dominance. Then the next one, which followed that, was like 40%. Great. Now you're going to look like, okay, here in the positive territory, you had a cross, which was great. And followed by that, the price actually went 50%. Now you're looking like, okay, we are range bound. We got the first cross. We moved a little bit. We didn't move much. Right now we are getting another one. So most likely it can actually go higher. Say right now we are close to 39, and if you're going to 49, that may slow a lot of alts. Few of them will follow Bitcoin. Just Bitcoin goes 5, this goes 5, or some does 50%. So you need to keep an eye on which alts are right now getting more volume, because that is more important. You look at Tether, it's like, okay, getting more volume there, fine. But what you should be more concerned, if you are in the market trying to look for assets which are trending, then you should look where the money is going. If money is going into like top 3, top 5 in this category, then it's better to look at them. Now, if they have already trending higher, they are already breaking through, then the opportunity is gone. Otherwise, you're coming back, right? So now you go back to XRP chart with a comparison with the Ether, because that's becoming more and more important with what we are observing. Because if that's going to get classified as a security, then we are on the level playing field. And XRP is already fighting a case which it can win. Most likely we are going to win. And just the question is, when? I don't think there is a doubt whether it's a security or not. It's just the clarity which we observe from the code. We don't know how long it's going to take. But right now, this is what we are looking at. If Ether is breaking lower and people are running out of that, we need to see where else it's going to go. You are observing different price action like say Quant, XDC, XLM. These are like the fundamental assets which we've been following from a very long time. If you remember, we've been talking about Quant from the early time when it was $5, $6, saying, okay, this is a great asset to buy in. Now it's 170 after the drop from the peak. Great. So right now we are observing this and asking the question like, okay, why is not XRP doing that? Regulatory clarity is a huge point. So now when we observe that and ask the question to ourselves like, okay, when can I expect a move? Say if this is breaking higher, that's bullish. But usually that's a little bit bearish. But right now, when I'm going into the market, say this is USD INR. The pattern here actually in medium term is bearish, but that just broke to the upside almost. Now you have bigger concern. You can say, okay, I'll try and connect these. Then you're like, okay, you already broke to the upside because the RSI is suggesting this. But say, let's be even conservative and say we are following these, which give you even precise trend. So you're at a resistance. So we need to see where the dollar is slowing down, because if dollar slows down at that resistance, price is going to go down. That's great for that particular currency, but the market is going to be great. We all talked about this before. Remember the top here, March 2020? That was the bottom for crypto. From that time, 1.5 years, crypto went up when dollar was going down. Same here, you take this Jan 2017 all the way to Jan 2018. That 1 year, crypto went up. So if we are saying that this is going to drop another year or so, we may literally get a good time in crypto sphere. So yes, that's a huge possibility as dollar slows down. And right now in the market, you may still get short-term corrections in some of the assets. So right now we go back to XRP to get that perspective, asking like, okay, if it actually drops, what's the worst case scenario, right? Right now, if you are in the market and asking that question, this support resistance zone, 0.379, say 0.38, is going to be hard support range, because unless if you are looking at that saying this was support, this was resistance, so I expected that's going to be your one of the biggest support. But the worst case is not that. The worst case is all the way back down to 0.3. But the real question would be, is the market going to do that? Because right now, the fundamental stuff is slowly changing. So you go into the article, this is Wall Street Journal, you're actually trying to look at it and you're asking this question, okay, will we have we will have very thoughtful discussion about the pace of tightening at our next meeting. Fine. So the pace, if they are going to do a 75 this time and say, okay, we are going to do 75 next time, that's going to shake the markets. Rather, if they say, okay, we are going to do a 75, but from next time we're going to do 50, that still is good outlook. But right now, this is already priced in. The best case scenario is they say, we are going to do a 50 basis points and we're going to follow it up with another 50. That's okay. The market goes up. If they say we're doing 50 and we're going to do another 25 next time, that is slowing down in the tightening, which means more for markets. The volatility in the market should increase. And that's one of the primary reasons which you're observing in the market. See, right now when you look at the Dow Jones, you are literally asking that question like, okay, is the downside done? Are we not in a recession? You know, all those stuff. Because I was surprised to see S&P 500 do this. So this is a weekly chart. We were having this to the downside and now we are bouncing back. So if you actually go on a daily and look at that chart, you remember we talked about this. If we are bouncing back above the 20-day moving average, we did that. We came back downside, we bounced. Now you have a different way of looking at this. Say, yeah, you see the RSI broke higher. Now, why is this so important? Because if the stock markets are going to run up, crypto markets will also share that positivity, because the markets gave you that nature, human beings, the emotion, it kind of works like that. So here, you kind of trended to the downside, the price was trending low, 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 and then it slowed down at one point and started going back up. Now you got the wick here on a higher time frame, and then you slowly started coming back down. But at this range, you kind of erased this bottom, you made a new low. But at the time when you're making that low on a daily chart, the RSI is suggesting bullish divergence, which for me is really important. And that's why we talked about that last time. And now you got an engulfing candle which went up. It was volatile, but you broke higher. Now you're holding on to that gains and repeating with continuation pattern with another bullish engulfing candle. That's really important to see, right? You're getting that follow up. You just broke this level of resistance too. So now, if the stock market is actually going to continue the momentum here towards the upside, maybe 5%, maybe 10%, this is going to be huge. Why? Because we are in a pattern here which suggests that this move can literally break the current trend, giving ye the ability to say like, okay, this was a broadening, falling broadening wedge, which is now breaking to the upside, which usually is bullish. So as the stock market bounces, you are literally going to observe the same trend coming back into the crypto market. So yes, some of these are going to be really volatile, really risky. If they cannot break this level, it's gonna drop. But what's really interesting is that you are not making a lower high. Rather, you are trying to put in a higher high here. Then you came back and made a higher low. So now these are looking positive. Fine. Now you jump back into the crypto sphere asking, different stuff like, okay, this is like new money coming into the market, USDT printed. Where will all of this go? It's not going to be completely in XRP. No one knows. But if you look at the price action here, we are slowing down. Now on a daily, that's the thing. On a 3-day, you are still having the momentum to the downside. The moving average here is 0.42. So if we are going to observe the price action coming that low, it's a possibility that people may start buying. Your trend line, which you are focusing on, or at least which we are looking to get a support, is here. So if the resistance gets broken, this range of support and resistance gets broken, now you're observing the RSI. If that RSI can bounce from here, that's what we really want to see. Because as market shakes, you don't want to get in that trouble. Make sure you're aware of the movements and expect some volatility over next week by the end of the month, because this time you also have the Fed and their rate hike expectation. So if that happens to be 75 or 100, that's going to be crashing the market. But if that's lower than that, it's going to be positive. So keep your mind ready for that. That's it, guys. Please do hit that like and subscribe button if you received value. I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.